Hello everyone. This is part 2 of our post on the Japan Rail Pass. We have previously shared how we maximized our 7-day JR Pass and how to use Google Maps in planning your itinerary and navigating in Japan. This time, we want to share how we used our 14-day JR Pass on our 2023 winter trip. Please note this is non-sponsored. We just want to share our experience and provide some information to help you plan your Japan trip. Before we proceed, we just want to share where to buy a JR Pass. We have bought it 3 times in 3 different ways, so we know the comparison. In 2015, we ordered directly from the JR website, and it was delivered to us in 2 weeks. In 2019, we bought it on Klook, and the exchange order vouchers were mailed to us within 7 business days. In 2023, we only decided to buy a JR Pass a few days before our flight. We didn't want to risk not receiving the mail on time, so we bought from the agency that has been processing our Japan visa since 2015. It was more expensive than the Klook price, but we got the exchange order immediately. Among the 3, given that you have at least 2 weeks before your flight, we recommend buying from Klook. JR Pass is normally excluded from discount vouchers offered by Klook, but the price is still cheaper than the other 2. And you would earn Klook credits that you can use on your next purchases. Okay. Having that out of the way, let's proceed to the 14-day JR Pass we used on our 14-day winter trip. We entered at Nagoya and exited through Tokyo. Just a little backstory. We booked our flight in late 2022. The original date was in June and our entry was Nagoya because we were supposed to visit Tateyama Kurobe Alpine route. With all honesty, we couldn't wait that long. It had been 3 years and we missed Japan so much. So we decided to move up the date to February. Please note we do not recommend doing what we did. Rebooking to a close date and choosing a colder season cost us a lot of additional expenses. Similar to part 1, we will just present here the general itinerary to show how we used the JR Pass for 14 days. Day 1. We arrived at Chubu Centrair International Airport. We had some local Nagoya food for lunch, claimed our Japan SIM card, then we traveled to Nagoya Station. We claimed our JR Pass at JR Nagoya Station, reserved seats for all our Shinkansen trips, traveled to Tokyo and spent the night there. This was our JR Pass usage on day 1. We will show the daily usage and total usage to date. On day 2, we transferred from Tokyo to Hakodate. Travel time to Shin Hakodate Hokuto Station is more than 4 hours, so we took the first direct trip and arrived at our destination by lunchtime. We just marveled at that winter wonderland. It was an amazing experience. We explored Hakodate until nighttime. We will have a separate post on Hakodate. This was our JR Pass usage on day 2. The Shinkansen station is outside the Hakodate proper. Again, we could use the JR Pass on both lines going to Hakodate station, but not on the bus and tram lines within Hakodate. We stayed at the hotel beside Hakodate's Shinkansen station again. Apologies for the mess. We were preparing then the stuff we brought to Sapporo since we left our luggage at this hotel. We asked permission ahead of time and they allowed us since we returned after 1 day and stayed with them for another night. Day 3. We started the day early as well. We traveled for 3.5 hours to Sapporo and arrived by lunchtime. We originally just wanted to go up to Hakodate for a day to experience the snowy winter. Sapporo wasn't supposed to be part of the itinerary because it was quite risky for my health condition to stay long in the double-digit below zero temperature of Hokkaido. But we found out that it was time for the Sapporo Snow Festival, so we went for it. There is so much to see and experience in Sapporo and other areas in Hokkaido during winter. We recommend spending a few days in the island. Though it was not all fun, day 4 was my favorite day of the trip. It was a dream come true for me to experience snowfall. There was no guarantee that it would happen while we were there, so I was so happy my wish was granted. We were supposed to spend the day at Otaru before going back to Hakodate at night. Unfortunately, the temperature dropped several degrees more with the snowfall and the temperature reading in Otaru was even lower, so we didn't push through and just spent the rest of the day enjoying more food in the fine snow of Sapporo. But if you could, exploring Otaru is a good addition to your itinerary and use of the JR Pass. The Sapporo hotel we stayed at is above an exit of Sapporo Station. It was a huge advantage, especially when the weather got worse in the afternoon. Speaking of advantages, flights to or from Hokkaido often get canceled or delayed with heavy snowfall, but train operations do not get suspended in winter unless the weather gets really, really bad. That's the edge of traveling to and from Hokkaido with the JR Pass. We went back to Hakodate and spent the night there. It was a quick but memorable Hokkaido winter trip. We will return when I'm healthier and stronger. We still have to tick dog sledding off our bucket list. Day 5 was more like a Shinkansen day because we spent a total of almost 8 hours on the Shinkansen from Hakodate to Osaka. The first leg was a 4-hour trip to Tokyo Station. We just had some bento lunch on the train. Then another 3 hours from Tokyo to Osaka on the Hikari train of Tokaido Shinkansen. Those 7 hours just flew by because we enjoyed the scenery of Japan. We even spent hours wandering around Dotonbori and Namba area at night. We stayed at Daiwa Roy Net Hotel Osaka Kitahama for 5 nights. We have posted our review on the hotel. We spent day 6 at Kyomi-zu-dera Temple in Kyoto. We did not use our JR Pass that day because we needed to take other train lines to get there. But you can use the JR Pass to go to some other popular places like the Fushimi Inari Shrine and Arashiyama Bamboo Forest. Our main agenda for Day 7 was our pre-booked visit to the Suntory Yamazaki Distillery. We used our JR Pass to go there. This destination may not be for everybody. On this day, you could take a day trip to Hiroshima. It is just 1.5 hours away by Sakura Shinkansen. Day 8. It was a full day of food trip at Kobe. Please watch our post on our Kobe food trip. Day 9. It was our first time at Universal Studios Japan. There was very minimal usage of JR Pass on this day. Osaka Metro is the best mode of transportation within Osaka City, but it is not covered by JR Pass. We stayed for 5 days in Osaka. Though we spent our daytime outside the city, we spent all our nighttime in Osaka eating local foods and hanging out at an izakaya. Our posts on Osaka food trip and where to drink in Osaka may provide some helpful recommendations for you. On day 10, we transferred from Osaka to Yokohama in the morning. It snowed a little when we went to USJ the day before. On our way to Yokohama, it snowed again in the Kyoto area. Yokohama was our base for the next 3 days. Hotels in Yokohama are cheaper than Tokyo. Our itinerary for the next few days were mostly in Tokyo, but we stayed at a hotel across Shin Yokohama Station, the Shinkansen station of Yokohama. We have spent 2 days in Yokohama in 2018, so we did not include it in our itinerary. We thought of going to the Gundam factory in the pier area, but we thought I might not be able to handle the wind chill. If you have not visited Yokohama, spending a day strolling along the port area is very relaxing. It is a nice, affordable day trip from Tokyo. Going back to our winter trip, from the hotel, we took the Shinkansen to Shinagawa Station in Tokyo and transferred to the Yamanote line to go to Shibuya Station. We didn't reserve tickets anymore since it's just a quick trip, and we didn't have any luggage. For this day, we just went to Shibuya Sky. The unbearable wind chill that night made us call it a day really early. This was our JR Pass usage for day 10. We started day 11 with some booze. Disclaimer guys, we are not alcoholics. We just like learning more about these Japanese companies that produce well-made alcoholic drinks and experiencing the tasting opportunities they offer. We then went to Sugamoji Zodori Shopping Street in Tokyo. This was the first of the old Tokyo neighborhoods we visited on this trip. Since we have gone to the more touristy places before, we have started exploring the other areas of Tokyo. On day 12, we just went back to Tokyo for more food trip. The Tsukiji Outer Market was crowded with tourists, but it was a good place to try different street foods in Tokyo. Please note that the roads within and around the market are for vehicular traffic. We felt bad for the vehicles of the locals that could hardly pass through and do their business. We hope a lot of the tourists who mindlessly block the roads will be more disciplined and considerate of the locals. We did some shopping later in the day. We didn't get to use our JR Pass while in Tokyo because our destinations were more accessible through the Tokyo Metro lines. Day 13 was our last day to ride the Shinkansen. We checked out from our Yokohama hotel and transferred to our Tokyo hotel. We could have stayed at the same hotel until our last day, but we preferred to stay at a hotel near Tokyo Station. We wanted to minimize any possible risk on our departure day. We just did some more eating, drinking, and shopping for stuff to bring home to our family. Our JR Pass usage was minimal in the last few days because we just took it easy. But we could have easily maximized it further by going to different day trips from Yokohama or Tokyo, like Nagoya, Karuizawa, Sendai, and Kamakura. The end of our 2-week trip has arrived. Since we had a late-night flight, we still had like a full day to do stuff. We went to Yanaka Ginza Shopping Street and Asakusa. The crowd in Asakusa was a nightmare. We should have just gone somewhere else. The final use of our JR Pass was at the Narita Express train. It was our first time to take it because of the expensive ticket price. Please note that you need to reserve a seat at the Narita Express, unless you want to be displaced when the rightful passenger gets on the train. The total value we got from our 14-day JR Pass reached more than 127,000 yen even with the minimal usage we had on several days. There are so many other areas covered by the JR Pass, and you can visit more areas than we did in those 14 days, especially during autumn and spring. To sum it up, going back to the question if it is still worth buying the JR Pass given its more expensive price now, our answer is yes. You just have to be smart and strategic in using it. We hope we were able to provide some useful tips, ideas, and information for your next Japan trip. Till the next one. Thanks for watching.